No. Do I have time to go down the street and get a slice? Yes. All right, cool. Run back. This first one is more an essay than a poem. It's called a quiet meditation on art and its impact on the artist. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 poets and punk rockers ate worse than government cheese and Thunderbird. And I'm both. So fuck it. Sour grapes and shitty macaroni it is. Now a lot of friends tell me they wish they had this job, or at least the hours, and I do. Give praise to the great sky conductor for every day I haven't had to origami myself into a cube of the clock I punch, jabs back, below the belt. This occupation consists of constantly putting your heart and your balls in front of life-swinging knuckles, but I can't quit it because there's not much else you can do when your inner child is a spitting brat and your power animal is Joan Jett. My resume might as well read jack off at all trades, master at jack shit. And I suppose there's worse things you can be, like World War referee or fluffer. But glory, glory, this kind of living is killing me. Hallelujah. These days, my sex drive takes the curves like a spastic Datsun, which is perfect because I got game like Pong. Worse yet, ColecoVision. Dusty, outdated, and with a shitload of useless buttons. My get up and go must have done jetted and stopped me with the check. Maybe, just maybe, if I shook the devil horns out of my mouth, took out all the fuck yous, put one back in, and wrapped it up and gummed down, maybe I could touch what my mother might call success. Maybe. Just maybe. If I stopped shouting at all the fringes reflections of me, maybe I could be happy. I've seen friends of mine hit it so big, it has splattered my clothes like John F. Kennedy's brains back into the left-out pity party army of one again, but I am not bitter. You can ask any of my guts dead butterflies, but all their brittle little skeletons will tell you is, at least we died for a reason. I love my child. Aching balls and all of it. If I did it, I would have gone full trip Twiggy up a clock tower after the millionth Miss Meal ago. I may have less than some. 3 hots, a copy, alarm clock, static reassurance that today will hold no more or less challenges than the next, but I got a lot more than a lot. Like this music that refuses to be my creaking jaw's secret for 1 second longer and shares itself full throttle. Damn the honesty or the hour when a cigarette is all that's keeping me going. And 5 twine rope torn over a crossbeam is the only thing that can hold my head up. I just gotta giggle. Step down off the chair and remember that I am hope's biggest bitch. Thank you. As you can tell, I'm a well-balanced individual. People ask me, it's like, why do you do poetry? I'm like, I can't afford to fucking shrink. That's why I do it. And plus, I'm used to like rowdy bars and coffee shops and whatnot. If you like something while I'm doing it, let me know. Don't feel the need to be politely quiet. If you don't like something, throw small, non-hurty things. Glasses and ice count as hurty things. In my home venue, the bread also counts as a hurty thing. So, all right, here's something. Woo! See that? Here's something a little bit different. I am not made of limbs, just a loose arrangement of musicians. They have no formal training, so my bones are all intuition and elbows, knees knocking this awkward rhythm in a face that only my mother could call classical. The only note these jokers can agree on comes from my spine. We ode slowly in the key of remorse. Its tiny vibrations are barely enough to keep my head up, but when struck with purpose, it resonates up through my eyes in a tone that is anything but minor. This is the same chord echoing off the empty opera houses of our insides, plucks our tongues, choirs our teeth to powder. We are gap-mouthed whistle kids, keening off time and out of key to form the most disjointed smiling chorus this side of rapture, singing out every dissonant ghost, until all that is left is the most cracked note ever uttered. And we pray at least one person thinks is beautiful. inch punch, 1 inch of distance, 1 inch of wood, 1 inch of power through. Yes, very. Just smile and nod like you're with me. All right, cool. That's what I used to do to my teachers. I would stare right there and hold Charlie Brown. Yes, ma'am. Like Nathan said earlier, I am on tour. I do have CDs. They are $10. This album was made possible by Kickstarter.com and some very generous individuals that helped me get it. We love Kickstarter. I had equipment zero, and I was like, I need a computer, I need an interface, I need software, I need Reason, I need Record, I need all this. And it was made possible by some very generous individuals in my life. So like I said, 13 tracks, they all have music and or soundscape behind them, produced, mixed, written, all that by me. It's a labor of love, and I do love it. So the download card he was talking about is a compilation I put together of my last 8 years worth of poetry, and some poetry with music, and just music by itself. I like to think I'm multi-talented, jack off at all trades, yes. So these help me, when I sell these help me keep up the eating thing, which I've become rather fond of because it enforces my breathing habit that I've acquired. So art ain't free also. John Lennon, I am sorry. You asked us to imagine, and now all we do is daydream. But not of a better or united world, one of separate countries, heavens, and religions. The only time we come together now is wrapped in the safety of internet's distance. I'm sorry. You never listened. Twisted your lyrics into a hollow karaoke. The only words we can recite with any conviction now is your eulogy. You laid out the difference between need and want. Love is all and war is over, but we ain't done a goddamn thing to bring about any of them mind games. That's the only one we ever got right. Jai, Guru, Dave, Om. I give thanks to Heavenly Teacher. Heaven is the cruelest burden to lay on anyone's shoulders. We were so quick to tack the cross to your back. Christ, you know it ain't easy. We are followers. Selfish and scared. We couldn't hear you over our screaming and tearing at your robes. Couldn't care less for your wife and children. We needed a father. I am sorry. We are so small. Forgiveness is begged only of gods. Head bowed and hands clasped. Apologies for what people ask of each other, looking straight in the eye. I'm sorry that even in death we couldn't just let you be a man. I'm sorry that in death we couldn't just let you be a man. We were too jealous of the balance you found between fame, art, and family. If you wouldn't be our Messiah, we could just as easily make you our martyr. Our envy cracked the sky 7 times over Manhattan, leaving two wives widows, 2 sons fatherless, and the rest of us nothing. Our karma did not come quick enough. I apologize. This is all I have to give back to you, Heavenly Teacher. No, it's the only hope in the sky above us. But I pray there is a heaven that you are there now. Jai, Guru, Dave, Om. My father shut his mouth so hard. His last word to me was the hissing breeze through the delicate bayonets of his teeth. After that, he would only ever part his lips to grin flint at me, like a spiked redwood tree. A few neighbors I've met here call me Ms. Frome. Nobody calls me Squeaky anymore, except for the reporters. I like it here. There are more trees than people. I've stood in the long cold shadow of 3 fathers wrapped in redwood, but only Charlie let me be his daughter. His family held more love than the one I shared a name with, and there is far more blood between us. He was soil and sky, brush-fired me back to nothing and then truly raised me, taught us to be the sirens for his divine Armageddon. Together, we would fell Jericho. Again. I have lived nearly 2 of Christ's lifetimes and wish I had his sense of purpose. The last redwood was as indifferent as the first. All I wanted was to tell him, Mr. President, you and the rest of your kind are tipped on the brink of extinction. But if I have learned anything, is that laying blood at their feet would not even stir the leaves of these ancient leviathans, but the menace of death will bleed their rings into surrender. So I stood at the very roots of him and gave him the barest glimpse of my axe. I'm 60 years old now. My only husband, the forest. I am a weathered sapling grown crooked in the shadow of 2 fathers long left to mulch, and the third a preserved oddity for the tourists. I am not a murderer. I've only ever loved one. I am a parolee. I am a ward of the state. I am now no one's daughter, but yours. Now an angry, morose, depressing. One day, just last week, I looked up from my register only to see a trail of bodies stretching from here all the way back to Bataan. Only they don't want service, they want retribution and blood. But one look at my hourglass-induced anemia sends some shuffling hollow bones on out the door, and I wake up screaming, next! I hate new release day. See, every Tuesday in record stores all across the U.S. lined up way before opening are legions of 18 to 80-year-olds clutching carefully compiled lists off of NPR and Pitchfork, interspersed with random jazz nerds, jam band bros, avant snobs, and grumpy McSad-haired hipsters about to bust out of their distressed skinny denim because we don't have the new one by the post-pop crunk neo-psychedelic band out of Sheboygan that only they've heard of. And it's moments like this. You gotta take a deep breath. In with the Buddha, out with the Hitler. In the sweetest possible way, tell them, get off your indie high horse, Captain Bright Eyes! You read about me spin, just like the rest of us! But I'd be happy to order it for you. And I know this may be a tad bit hypocritical coming from a guy who can recite you all the lyrics to every heavy metal power ballad ever to squeeze its way out of a studded black leather jockstrap, and it's only because I'm right. I am a highly trained professional. By highly trained, I mean underpaid, neurotic, and with a shitload of free time on my hands. Check out the name tag, Grandma. You're in my world now. Alright, I don't wear a fucking name tag, but you will know. My name is the Lord High Ruler of this here dusty little coward, and I apologize. I cannot give you $5 for this scratch-this-shit copy of Xanadu. Next time, I'd suggest chopping out your cocaine on the CD case instead. Music used to mean everything. From primal scream therapy to Zen liquid meditation, now it's just stacks of plastic. Endless statistics. Digital echoes stuck perpetually on back order, and you. Red ears quivering, reedy voice rising, comb over unfurling further and further with my every patient recitation of the fact that the Enya, Steve Roach, Kitaro, and Yanni CDs you ordered still hasn't come in yet, Buddha McBitchy face. Might I be bold, sir, to suggest maybe the meditation music just isn't working out for you here. Let me hook you up with the new Slipknot and we'll call it good, okay, pal? What? No, we're not taking any used vinyl today. No, Kid Robot Toys are to the front. You know, Mark David Chapman and Ed Gein really like this album. What? Nothing. No, we're still not taking any used vinyl. That album doesn't come out until September 22nd, 2000, Armageddon. Are you getting it? Or Armageddon it? In the name of Robert Johnson, Vulcan Beatbox, and KRS-One Glory, blow me hallelujah! Next! 8.50 an hour and an employee discount will only go so far. I dug out my old leather jacket. Its gleaming grin of epaulets and buckles smiling to me from behind too few many reminders of battles waged righteous and infantile. I tore through the pockets searching for scraps of all those late nights, screaming my uninformed philosophy into the moon face of God and the ghetto bird, but all I found was a set of directions. West of Refinement, up the block from Anxious, forever past 2 in the morning and always 1 month shy of 25. My eyes couldn't recall the address, but these feet and 35 years of slumped shoulders knew the way back to this place strictly from muscle memory. This is where I found him. This is where I found him. A simple studio apartment. White walls bare to better reflect himself. Bedposts notched into splinters from all the one-night stands propped up by pride, and eyes too free of experience, but he doesn't look surprised to see me. Just says, "That's my jacket, old man. You look kind of fucking stupid in it. I don't know where you got it, and I ain't got much, but I'll trade you. What do you want for it?" All right. First, I'll take that middle finger out your tongue. It ain't nothing but a limp digit. Fear is the only reason it ever flies. Why you at? Pull that curled lip back down over your canines. They are nowhere near long enough to bite with you, son. Next, I'll take back that anthem in your throat and all the notebooks we shouted it into. It reads like a ransom demand, all weathered edges and stolen letters, wringing the ink from headlines to fill your vulgar pen and pockets. You can keep the Neverland in your irises. The dilated lost boys of aborted brain cells, the whole Morrison, Nietzsche, Bellini mystical death trip. I know where that leads. We have seen this path, tread free of gravel by every shock-haired, leather-clad, jackbooted jerkwad. This side of fuck all and back death is boring. Until you've lived it. I want the lust in your guts, the cauldron of your chest, the bellow of your lungs. I finally know how to use them, but they are going to waste. While you sit here and bullshit the universe the way we always did. I didn't come here to trade with you. I came to lay this time and place to casket. I am leaving you here, buried between these floors, bereft of blood, boil, and balls, stripped, shivering. Armor is made to protect the living, not adorn the dead. This jacket? Well, this motherfucker is coming with me. Thank you very much.